Hey, Recruiter DNA community. Larry Hernandez here. Hope you're having a great Tuesday. I believe today is March 4th. And I wanted to share something with you. I shared it on a live LinkedIn video, but I realized I probably didn't share it with you here. So I want to kind of keep you updated on some things that are progressing, right? As I'm doing these workshops, the last phase in the workshop, I guess I should have had this queued up. The last phase in the workshop is that we build AI assistants, right? And so here's a demo that I think is very cool. I'm just going to do it and then we can talk about it. So, number one, I am in ChatGPT. Okay, I am not building custom GPTs or I'm not using any software. I'm going to use the power of projects. So if you're in the Pro Edition, I think it's $20 a month. You will just have these projects, which most people are either not using or using as folders, which is okay. But what I've realized is that we can turn these folders into what I'm calling promptware. And yes, I bought the domain, not the .com, but the .net. So it's a phrase coined in a science fiction film, and MIT also used it, but I'm going to run with it because what we're doing is we're creating software inside of either your ChatGPT or, yes, custom GPTs. But custom GPTs can be a little daunting at first, and there is a time to use custom GPTs, and there is a time to use what I'm calling promptware or smart tools in your project. So let me jump in. So I've got a fake sales transcript of me trying to sell my training. Okay, so how do I get my transcripts? You record your calls on Zoom, on Teams, on whatever you're using, on your phone, whatever it is, and you'll hear me say this. I'm going to keep saying this so everyone gets it. Transcripts are gold. Transcripts are the truth of what really happened. So if you're a leader, a sales trainer, even yourself, if you're trying to get better at your sales calls, what you do is you take your transcripts of any of your meetings or your calls. Now here's a demo. I'm going to just paste this. Okay, that's the end of it. It's just the raw transcript. And I'm going to hit /BANT, BANT. Okay, now we're going to watch this thing work. Now, if you realize that if you go and try to put BANT in your ChatGPT, it's not going to have the same effect because it has not been programmed. But what BANT is, there's BANT and there's MEDDIC. Let me just show you what this does here. So it's using this framework, either MEDDIC or BANT, and what they do is it is a best practice for taking sales orders, new jobs, things that we do as recruiters, but we don't realize it and we haven't been trained. So number one, and let's see, we have one for BANT as well. And BANT is a simple process. It's a good way to start. If you're doing enterprise sales, then maybe you might want to use MEDDIC. But all they are is, do they have the budget? Are you talking to the right person, the authority? Do they have an immediate need, and what's the timing, right? Now, those of us who have been doing this for years, we tend to, we get this ingrained in us, but really it's rarely actually taught. So this is a cool way that teams can empower their managers and their employees to self-coach. I mean, how amazing is this that I could get my transcript, just put in BANT, and I can see, okay, yes, we talked about the budget and 5 team members. Great, status check. Authority, Alex is the decision maker, but we'll check with his partner. Okay, right? So it kind of goes through this and it gives me follow-up strategies and role plays. Now, if you have a more complicated sales process, we can use MEDDIC. So it's going to look at the same transcript, but it's going to use the MEDDIC model. And you can see it's kind of going over all this. All right. And then also, imagine that you're having a one-on-one with your teammates, or you're looking at accounts. I also have here, I think we have sales coach. Let me check the instructions. So how is all this being powered? Well, in the workshop, we go through this, and the last phase is we start building what's called these AI assistants, or now we can call them promptware. Because ChatGPT has given us the power to program instructions spelled wrong, we can see how I have here. This is the menu right now. This thing goes on and on and on. It's high-end prompting, but what I want you to see is, wow, I want you to be thinking, are you telling me that, like, look at this analysis, right? I'm missing some information here. I'm missing information here. My mind gets blown because so many of us now are busy, the markets are tough, and we don't know what we don't know. But the fact that we can program ChatGPT into making whatever it is, doesn't have to be sales calls, right? It can be whatever it is that you want. It could be a process that you use. Maybe your company uses the ABC process, or whatever process you use, from posting job descriptions, turning job descriptions into search criteria into sourcing strategies into LinkedIn and emails. All these things are just, if you start having that AI first mindset and you start learning prompting, you're like, how can I turn that process into a prompt, or now a workflow? Okay, so that's pretty cool. Now, some of you might be thinking, when do I use custom GPTs? Do I still need to use custom GPTs? Yes. So right now, my best practice and my advice to you is to use, look at your processes, attack one process first. Maybe the one that brings you the most money, maybe the one that takes the longest, whatever, maybe it has a lot of friction points. If it's a core process to your company, we're going to create a GPT. A GPT has more, if I go to create GPT, it's pretty simple, right? But I've got more things that I can do on the back end, and it's just a little bit more robust. And remember, with GPTs, if I was in, okay, so let me just finish. GPTs are for your core structure, your core deals. Your projects start living with the employee and with the team members, right? So you want the team members to have folders for each client, folders for each project, and then have some coaching folders like we just showed you here. But the cool thing is, once we set up your core GPTs, I can mention a GPT, right? So mention, let's see. See, as I hit the symbol, it starts looking at my GPTs. So I can bring in core workflows that only you and your company have access to. And you can say, oh, you know what? I do need to use if we look up here, maybe the style mimicker. I do need to use the style mimicker. I don't know why it's not working today. There it is. Now I'm calling this, I've hailed, kind of like Star Trek when they press a button, you've now put at user persona, which is a GPT, and now I'm going to be talking to that GPT. So the power is core company-wide initiatives, make them into GPTs. They're going to, and these are things that are going to be used over and over again. Projects, now we can put in promptware for more either personal projects or coaching things that may not be specific. Maybe that we need some tailored solutions. So anyway, I hope you think this is amazing. I know I am, but look at some of these things that we can do. Right? So just me personally, whenever I'm on a project, I can always just hit this and hit coach. And now it goes right to my persona that I have built that tells me, okay, Larry, let's keep on track, whatever it is. If I was doing this in a project, it could actually be my project manager and say, okay, here's what we're doing. So I hope this kind of blows your mind. This is the outcome of the AI workshop, is we're going to build 3 of these together. Okay. Anyway, I hope you're excited. I want to grow this community. Some really cool things are happening, and don't hesitate to ask, right? This is your community. Make comments, ask questions, start trying to get your hands in there. And I'm always here if you need any help. All right. See you.